because this makes me feel like I need to like sing a. This is like a singing microphone. I feel like not a speaking one. So you can. You're in the outfit. Oh my gosh, you're gonna do a little bit of something there. Be right back. Yeah. So long story short, it's great to be home, and the weekend has been amazing so far, and yeah, it's the weather is merciful, as we know. It could be way worse, so thank you all for coming out and spending your Sunday with me. I know you don't probably get a lot of time off, and we were just talking already about how, it's hard not being able to talk about work and things that you guys, like the reason that I get to sit here is because you saw or heard something that I did. So I apologize in advance that we can't actually talk about it. This strike sucks for everybody. So my personal apologies to you on behalf of your time. I'm not sure I have a solid, 30-minute set on.
Yes, you do.
Anything. I'll do my best for you.
We're going to do it again.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Just another question about being local, and something I've been hearing about all weekend I have not done yet is like the Juicy Lucy's. So
okay, I'm a vegetarian, so I cannot help you guys.
Is there like a vegetarian dish?
There is?
There has to be, right? I mean, there's vegan cheese and there's...
There is. Oh my goodness. I found out about that right now.
Now you have to have one.
Blue door.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you next time.
Now we actually get to have one. Well, let's do that next time you're back in town.
Thank you.
So I also wanted to ask, because like in addition to acting, are there any like other elements of the entertainment industry that you would like to be part of, or like whether that's writing, directing, producing?
I've been lucky enough to be able to make my own projects over the course of the last, I think I started in about 2017, being more creatively active in making stuff. We're not naming what it is, I'm not in trouble.
This is
that part, yeah, but that part's felt really good. And I think that appeals to me not because I necessarily feel like I want to be in control of everything, but I'm just very nosy. So I like knowing where the money is being spent. I like having a voice in, who gets hired for which position, for which department. And I've been lucky enough to be able to continue to work in a producerial capacity even during the strike because of my role as a producer. So that's been really great.
Is it difficult to like produce and also appear in a film as well? Is that anything that's overlapped?
You do feel a little bit silly when you realize that you're the person going like, I think I should be in this movie. I think people are going to want to watch it. It feels a little bit, my Minnesotan nature gets in the way a little bit there. So yeah.
Do you have like a specific approach that you do when playing a role? We don't have to say which specific roles.
You're good at like the workaround. I like it.
We have to. Yes, we gotta do it. Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, we're just talking about acting in general.
Exactly.
I really get fixated on the dialogue and wanting to make sure that it sounds like something that's going to sound natural coming out of just me and my general personage. So I like to go in there and sort of fiddle with that as much as I'm allowed to, without being a GA writer, etc. Just so it sings, just so there's natural connectivity throughout the scene. That's something that I get a little handsy with. It's one of my favorite parts of the process. Yeah,
for sure. So we're in November, which is like crazy. We're gearing up towards the end of the year. I wanted to ask if you have any like, well, what are the holidays like for you? Like, do you have any like traditions, whether for Thanksgiving? Like you mentioned you're a vegetarian. Like, what do you guys do for Thanksgiving and then also for Christmas?
Oh my God, so my mom, okay, I can't pretend this is going to be like fascinating to anybody. She asked, you're here, so here we are. My mom, as a vegetarian, would make this like bean pate and make it, she would sort of mold it into the shape of a turkey on the plate. That she would like sliced almonds as the feathers. You get like a little craisin going as like the whatever it's called. Pretty like all the way out there vegetarian. It was delicious.
That's so creative.
It was very creative. She's an amazing cook. My mom worked at, you guys will probably remember, I don't know if it's even still there, Kitchen Window in Uptown. She was a cooking instructor there for a very long time. My dad was a social worker at Olson Junior High in Bloomington for many, many years. So yeah, my mom is in fact a great cook. She used to teach at that convention at the Keeler Hotel out in Rochester, and my memories of Minneapolis are many and wonderful. So I feel like you home. Thank you, friends.
Yeah. Okay. we're gonna go down this weird rabbit hole, and we can all go down this rabbit hole together because I think this is gonna be really fun. I want to talk about misheard song lyrics because you had posted something. Was it hot stuff? They thought it was pasta.
Yeah.
So I want some pasta. Is that
if
what
you play the song, she is singing, and I'm like, I can't sing. That's not me in that movie. Pasta, baby, this evening. It sounds just like pasta, baby, tonight. It's just like it. I'm ruining it for all of you. Sorry, Jonathan.
Or you're making it better, and maybe we just want some pasta.
Maybe wanted some pasta. Yeah. We may never know. But one of my favorite misheard song lyrics is from a friend of mine from unknown work situation, whose name sounds a lot like Era Eid. Okay,
yes. Yes. That we can say.
Tara, okay, great.
Yes.
So we were in a van going somewhere, and Sister Christian's Night Rider came on. Everyone knows those opening bars. From Tara next to me. Notre Dame! How to understand! Or what I was like, excuse me? How is that what you this song with full commitment in the van? I was like, I love you so much.
I wouldn't have told her. I would have let her know.
I didn't. And that's how I've heard it ever since. And now it doesn't sound like it. I'm sorry, Tara. It does not sound like it. I love you. But that was amazing.
Yeah, I went down this rabbit hole last night, looking up misheard lyrics, and I think my favorite's from Stone Temple Pilots, where it's, I think it's supposed to say, where are you going with the mask you found? But it's, where you going with the mascarpone? And it sounds like mascarpone and cheese.
Oh my God.
I'm just thinking people are hungry when they're listening to music.
That is fantastic.
That's a good one, right? Anyone have any other good, yeah, go ahead. Oh, what is it? Again, food, right? It's just like
we are hungry people. I just want to hear about some food.
Yeah. We are all very hungry.
That is fantastic. Thank you.
That's amazing. So I think we are allowed to ask about this too, since you mentioned Tara Reid. I wanted to kind of know about what was your chemistry like with Tara and Rosario and.
They're wonderful humans. I always say Tara she's an enthusiast. She can't do anything a little bit. Speaking of food, that girl, she's this big, but she can put it away when she's hungry. And she forgets to eat, but then she's like, oh, I remember. She just eats all the food and I think forgets again. If you go out to a restaurant with her, she's like, this is the best burger I've ever eaten in my life. She just gets so hyped up about everything.
Has she had a Juicy Lucy episode?
She will need to. If she comes out here, she's got to check that out. So what I love about her is just that everything is an 11, and it's I'm a Libra. I'm balance seeking, and I'm not going to talk more about astrology because I don't know more. I promise. But I'm like, oh, this is good. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It could be cold. I'm always balance seeking, and she is just the volume is just cranked up on all of her feelings, thoughts, ideas, and I love being around her for that reason. And she's just endlessly, fiercely loyal to everyone she loves, and I love that. I love that crazy little human.
I love that you guys are still
yes.
close friends. That's amazing.
And Rosario is just taking over the world and everything that she does all of the time, and she's just such an inspiration to me as a human and as an activist and as an artist, and I can't say enough good things about either of those two people.
Yeah, we can clap for them. Thank you. So we are allowed to talk about voicing for video games, which obviously you've got to do quite a bit of. What's that process like? What's the difference in a studio voicing for a video game versus being on set?
What I like about it is just that you get to sort of shed the am I conveying what I want to be conveying visually? One thing that I always sort of run into as an actor is they say if you think it, the camera can see it. That's not necessarily true. You really do have to sort of make sure that you're conveying something in a way that tells the story best. And the thing with voice acting is that you sort of get to be a real-time audience to what you want to do and what you want to put out there. You're very much the puppet master of everything that's happening. So I like that direct sense of control. I like the collaboration with the people in the booth and the room behind me, and how they sort of finesse performance, knowing what they do about the other performances that have already been turned in. And I like that. I like that after the fact collaboration. I love that I got to meet, the people who I voiced Final Fantasy with, like, way after the fact. You crushed that panel, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Steve and George are fantastic artists, and I feel lucky to have had that job for 10 years.
That's so great. Did you grow up playing any video games?
No, my parents did not just sort of, they didn't frown on any of that. They're just very cheap, I think. So no, we did not have a system.
That's fair. All good. So if it's okay with you, we do have a microphone in the audience. I'm gonna just kindly ask that the questions that you do ask keep appropriate for everything going on in the world, and if she can't answer, then we'll pivot away and come up with something else.
So this is about your process. I think that's safe to talk about.
Yeah.
So when you were learning how to act and you're finally getting paid jobs, if you had a Minnesota accent, how did you get rid of it? And now that you're back here in Minnesota, is it creeping back?
Let's just say that when I do work in Minnesota, and I have, it creeps back, especially when I'm tired. It really comes out, and what I do is just pretend that it's a character choice. Is what I'm going to do about it. Because I can't help it. It's not, I think it's pretty word specific, so you just have someone flag the words that are maybe popping out for you. Is someone calling out your accent a little bit?
No, I've always had them.
Okay.
But I worked in TV news, so then I was in my mind that I had to, try and sound like, but someone I do work with, and it's Fargo, don't you know, of course. And she sounds like that every day, say hey, so.
I mean, I think it's a value add. I think whatever makes a person who they are, like a sense of identity, it's all you play your card, do your thing. If you're just trying to be somebody else, yes, that's acting, sure. But I personally would love seeing that, in the
But did you ever have an acting coach or something that just
say
said,
don't do that?
You sound way too Minnesota.
No, I don't think so. I think that when I act, I go into naturally just a accidentally more neutral tone. I've also mostly lived in LA since about 1997. So if anything, I've probably adopted some surf culture vibes. It's a very strange mashup of territories.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, you look amazing. Let's get that out of the way.
This
Beautiful.
is Rachael on drugs, everybody.
Yes.
So my question is, are you really going to go to Thailand and build all those houses, Rachael? I'm joking. What is your favorite genre of film that you have ever done or that you would like to do?
Let me see. The one thing that I veer away from, just because I'm superstitious, is horror. It's just not for me. I think I'm sorry. I saw that. I'm sorry. I have friends who make horror and they do it very well, better than anybody. And I think you should be a true fan to be able to sort of exist in that space. I feel the same purity about why I work in what I just like to call the feel-good space. I'm not saying that everything has to be the happiest ending ever, but I'm somebody who's deeply affected by the content that I consume. I remember my ex-husband wanted me to watch this movie about an exhausted single mother whose child drowns in a bathtub, and clearly I'm still upset about it, and that was about 14 years ago. So I can't do that. I can't do it. It's just I'm not. I see programming as medicinal and healing for me, and that's made me always want that to be what I put out into the world because it's real for me. And I consider video games and all that the exact same kind of escapism. I like stuff that takes you away and lifts you up and not, sort of exposes a dark side that we all sort of know to be there. Somebody else can cover that territory.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mike. So I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Advent Children back in the day.
Thank you,
when I
Mike.
was in high school and stuff. That was awesome. I was just wondering when they did FF7 Remake, if you were ever asked if you wanted want to come back and do Tifa again for that?
That is a good question. It feels weird. I keep forgetting it's okay to talk about video games.
Yes,
That's
what we
cool.
can.
I feel grateful to everyone who got hyped up about the fact that they didn't return the cast, but I also completely understand it. I don't think it's reasonable to think that we could be voicing, those characters when we're 80 and 90. So in that sense, I think it makes a ton of sense to roll the cast actually and give someone else that opportunity. I feel very lucky to be able to play Tifa for 10 years. She's such an incredibly badass character and loyal, and I know that she, just the way that she's written, has inspired, and struck something in so many people, and so I just feel lucky to have had that job for a while. But no, they did forget to call me, and that's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
My name is Renee.
Hey, really good to see you.
It's good to see you.
This is P-Wash, everybody.
Oh yeah, we went to high school together. My one question. I have 2 questions. One is, when you're working or while you're working, have you come across our other schoolmate, Josh?
Yes, and we went to Minneapolis South High. P-Wash has been, I'm just going to blow you up for a second, is a service member, first and foremost. Thank you again for your service here. And made headlines as the first female player on our football team, varsity football team. You're a legend. Thank you again for being here. Yes, Josh and I did a movie that somehow didn't take over the world about the year 2000 British National Hairdressing Competition. Don't know how that flew under anyone's radar. Josh is such a beautifully serious actor. He always did theater when we were young, and I was too shy to do that. And I think that his training really shows. They trusted him to try to do an accent in the movie, and no one asked me, even though it did not make sense that I was American. And, no, I guess it was, they built it in, but it was fine. But Josh is a wonderful and very serious and sensitive soul, and I don't know what he's up to, but I'm sure it's something great.
And the second question is, would you ever consider doing an action film?
I don't know if I am going to roll up on my 45th birthday and have people go, it's time. But I am ready.
I aged us.
And that's totally okay. We're good with it. Good to see you, Ryan. Remember your magnificent hair.
Oh, thank you.
So good. Yeah.
The movie about the time where everything happens at a certain time in a small town.
Yes.
Would you do something like that again, or is that too dark for you now?
That was not too dark.
Okay.
I saw, I see that genre in general, or very general, about, just like dark comedies. I'm not opposed to any of that. You can sleep at night, If you can sleep at night after watching it, I'm down.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mary. One of my favorite movies is set in an all-girls school, and one of the turns of phrases is "up your city with a wah-wah brush."
A lot of people here do not know what you're talking about. That's I do, so thank you.
Is that something that you still like to use as a turn of phrase?
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to go to jail. I would not win in a fight. I'm not going to say that to anybody ever.
And have your kids ever tried that on you?
They have not seen the thing that I know that you're referencing. That never took off, that phrase never took off. Can't believe it. Thank you.
All right, our final question.
Hi, my name is Andy. I was wondering, of all of the characters you played, which one is the closest to your personality?
I don't know if that's something.
I mean, just for example, you played a certain character in school or whatever. Maybe you were you use your personality as that character.
I think that the cool thing about acting and having a long career is that you get to funnel a lot of where you are at, and you do get to get cast as that in a very just wonderfully opportune way, because if you're sort of in pocket there, it's an easy casting. For stuff that I did, and around the time that I think that you're talking about, yeah, I did resonate personally with a lot of those characters. And a lot of actors like to think that they have, you know, a range that's, you know, 360, you know, they can do anything, but I know what I like to put out there, and I know what I'm best at, so yeah, it sounds a little bit not complimentary of my acting ability to say, but if you have watched something that I've been in, or if you're like, I kind of feel like I know her, like you probably kind of do.
You answered it perfectly.
Thank you. You're at the microphone.
You don't need to ask me, all right? 3 small words were way too late, but you can't see that I'm the one. So this is only my second con, but I came last year, and this is my second time being here. I was wondering, what's your favorite part about coming to conventions?
I have 2 favorite things. I love that people meet friends here. I love seeing that happen. I love seeing people say, I'm meeting up with my friend who I met here last year. You know, we love this same, you know, niche thing, and we've bonded on that and we've been friends ever since. So, show of hands if that's you. Yes, we love it. We love it. And I also love when people bring their kids. Like, they like something, and their kids get into something, and it's something that they do as a family. Like, it just really warms my heart to see that, and it just really makes me happy. Thank you. Good seeing you.
Hi, Rachel and Kat. I got to meet you on Friday, so it's nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
My question is, what has been your favorite location that you've gotten to film at?
I think that's general enough. We can do that. Yeah. I was lucky enough to work in Duluth this year, which was great. And Minnesota is apparently getting their tax incentives together, so there should hopefully be a lot more production here. And there's really talented crew base in Minnesota, so let's keep it going. Thank you, Kat. Good to see you. We are short.
All 5 feet tall. My name's Leigh. You have been in a handful of like my favorite comfort movies, so like when I'm sick, when I'm sad, all that, because I feel good, I get that.
Yes, thank you, Kate.
My question is, in a movie, you taught me a new turn of phrase.
I want to know.
Another think coming. You got another think coming. I didn't know that was real.
Thank you for watching that one. I did not either. I literally looked it up because I didn't believe them.
I did not either. I also Googled it.
Oh my gosh.
But that one is one of my favorites.
Thank you.
It is so good. It's really funny. And again, feel good. I'm just curious if there are any other turns of phrase that any of your girls have taught you.
That is a really good question that I wish I had been able to do advanced research on. Oh my gosh. I remember I did a show for a while where I played someone in a branch of kind of the law enforcement, and I think they got bored, or the writer's room, you know, just thought it was hilarious to see me use very old phrases. So every other, I'd be like, really guys, I have to say boondoggle? Or I'm gonna bring up you and your cronies on RICO charges? I was like, what year is it? No one believes this from me. But that always made me laugh. In terms of a turn of phrase, I'm gonna think of one as soon as I hand over the microphone. I'm so sorry, Katie.
No, that's all good. And thank you for shooting in Duluth. As a Duluthian, it means a lot to us and our community of people, so thank you so much.
It was rad. Thank you so
I
much.
like that term, Duluvian. I have to follow up on what she was starting to ask. Do you have any comfort or feel-good movies that you like? Because I think that we're allowed to say that you were not in.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. I love the John Hughes movies. I mean, a lot of the themes in there of like, the heroine telling the guy like, no, I'm not interested in you, and then he's like, I'm still here. Like, that hasn't dated very well. Yeah, exactly. Some of the messaging I think it doesn't always age perfectly, but I love all of those movies.
They're so great.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Justine. I had the pleasure of meeting you yesterday. I have a question, and if you're not allowed to answer it, I have a backup question to replace it. Okay, so if there was hypothetically ever to be a reboot or a sequel of that very musical movie that you were in that one time, would you be interested in at least having a cameo role, if not a regular part? And if you're not allowed to answer.
Hypothetically, I couldn't imagine how they would do that in a way that it would make sense for me to show up there. But again, it seems like something I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth by answering that. But I'm also just curious about what your backup question was.
Oh, my backup question is, do you have a favorite meat alternative that you like to use in vegetarian meats?
Besides lentil shaped like a turkey, yes. I like a Beyond Burger. I'm not mad at it. All of the Morningstar Farms makes really good thing that sort of looks like a corn dog, but it's called pancake on a stick. It's delicious. It's good with either syrup or ketchup. You guys didn't think we were going to be talking about that today?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pancake on a stick. Okay, let's get it.
Hi, Rachel. I'm Dave, and I met you on Friday.
Good to see you, Dave. How are you, Dave?
I'm wonderful.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm going to say this right, but in a certain movie of musical proportions where you were with two other people, I think you referenced you didn't do your own singing.
I think Dave's right.
Okay. My question for you, though, is, do you like to sing?
That is a good question. Nice pivot, Dave. So I heard someone told me something good the other day. I said, "Oh, I can't sing," and my friend said, "Everyone can sing, just some people do it way better." So yeah, sometimes. I wish I could. If I could, have one special ability, it would be, of course, time travel, and but then probably before fifth on the list would be singing, because it's just such a powerful thing. Do you like to sing?
I love to sing. In fact, one more quick one. Are there voice actors that pretty much only sing?
Can I even answer that? Because I don't know. I don't even know if there's a ton of real crossover, to be honest with you. I mean, there's the obvious, sort of actors who we've all heard of, or singers who do Pixar movies.
I've been a lead singer in a band before, and I loved it. It was short-lived, but it was fun.
That's a life well lived, David. I'm really proud of you, and you've always got that in your back pocket, right? That's awesome.
And next convention, we're going to all karaoke together, so. All right, we're going to take these final 5 questions. Go ahead.
Kind of come back a little bit to the first question, because this is a debate I've had with individuals before. Oofda. Is that also a Minnesota thing? I'm personally from North Dakota, and I've said it my whole life. I thought it was a Norwegian thing, so it was also a Minnesota thing, but then the reaction I've gotten from Minnesota. So growing up, did you hear oofda?
I say it all the time. I even text it, and I had people go question mark emoji or something, and I'm like, what the heck? How do you not? And there's no substitute for it that I know of. If anybody knows of a regionalism that encapsulates it as well as oofda, then I want to know what it is.
There's a Wikipedia page for it.
There is?
Yeah.
It
is Midwestern. It is Michigan, Wisconsin as well.
Amazing.
That explains it. The weird reaction I've gotten from Massachusetts and Texas. They were just like,
thank you for that. Yes, thank you for that. I love what we say.
You can get a Christmas ornament in the shape of Minnesota with the words oofda on it. I got one at the state fair.
I'm on it. Thank you.
I don't have a question so much as just a thank you.
No, thank
My
you.
name is Mary, and in January of 2012, I had brain surgery. There was a show you were on at that time that talked about neurology and brain, so it was fun as I was healing to have that kind of link to a brain and neurology show.
That's
so
amazing.
thank you.
Oh, thank you. Was it hug it out?
Oh,
the first thing I thought of was that heroin commercial you did.
Yep, we can talk about that.
Okay, but the other thing is, like, can you just sit back, like, on a lazy Sunday or something and watch one of your movies, or do you just, like, only see the mistakes? Like, can you sit back and, like, watch...
Can't do that.
Can you watch Antitrust or something?
I would not watch it. I would not do that. I like to think that that's something I will do when I'm like much older, maybe just to reflect and remember, because it's a funny feeling now to catch a piece of something that I did. Like one time I was in another country, I was literally channeling something, and I saw someone who looked exactly like me, but speaking German, and I was just in a library, and I remember thinking, I think that's me, but I don't recognize that actor. It's just a weird doppelganger thing. It was very old, and I literally wasn't, I'm making myself sound completely insane, but I didn't, it was from a show where it wasn't the lead who I was in a scene with, and I was legitimately confused for a while if it was me, because it had been so long ago. So in that sense, whatever, I was just okay and whatever it was. But I think that when I'm older, yes, I will. I am so sorry to the translator. Oh my gosh. I'm a disaster. Every apology. Thank you. Yes, I think I would like to look back on the work I did when I am much older, wonder, like, gosh, why did I get that haircut? And, it really was. I think I look forward to looking back on it when it's even further in the rear view. I like showing stuff that I've done to my kids, that's old. The problem being that, like, just the quality of film and this and that, everything looks ancient to them, which is kind of a wild thing. But, that's not how I spend my leisure time. That would be hilarious. Oh, but thank you. Thank you for watching it.